On today's show, it's time for our annual chat with Sens goalie prospect Mads Søgaard.
He tells us all about his offseason, Belleville in the playoffs, and even teases his next mask design.
And how about a little Olympic qualification? We'll get into all that with him and more on today's Locked On Sens.
I'm Jake Sanderson.
I'm Tim Stützle, and you're listening to the Locked On Senators podcast.
You're Locked On Senators, your daily podcast on the Ottawa Senators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome! You are locked on to the Ottawa Senators, the only daily podcast covering the Sens. On the outskirts of enemy territory, I'm Ross Levitan, alongside Brandon Piller up in the Blue Mountains. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. You can follow the show on social media. We're at Sens Central on Twitter. You can find us everywhere you get podcasts, including on YouTube, where we say hello and let you know that a like, comment, and subscription go a long way to helping the show grow. Today is Tuesday, July 23rd, and Pilsy, not only did we get a mask tease from Mads Søgaard, we got the design itself.
Yeah, every time Mads has a new helmet, he usually gives us kind of the first exclusive look, and it's always fun. This one's a little, it's lighthearted and fun, so I like the change in the design theory.
I love where Mads is positioned to get into next season. Like, it's been not full, because he came over, had that 7-game sample at the end of his first year.
7
coming
straight
over.
wins, not a big deal.
He is primed for me, and we talked about it yesterday with Sens prospects. This is a big year for Mads Søgaard, and I think he's doing everything he can off the ice to get himself into a good position to help this team when he's on his one-way contract in 2025-26. We'll get into the contract situation, all that, how he handles it. But like mentally seems like he's in a great spot. Tells us he's working with a specific coach that he really seems to be getting the most out of him. I'm fired up. And not only for him at training camp, but when he told us, like, the Olympic qualifications at the end of August, he's going to be coming over already having played in 3 high-intensity games. Denmark needs to win a group with Great Britain, with Japan, and with Norway, and they're in the Olympics. Like, that's huge.
Yeah, it's massive. And what I love about Mads too, Ross, is goalies typically get this stereotype where they're like weirdos and you don't want to distract them or anything. But Mads is just so down to earth, and he's like, no, you guys can contact me whenever. I'm just a regular dude. And you really get that feeling when you chat with him.
All-time funny too when you told him to move his camera down a little bit, because we had a 6'7" guy on camera looking like the neighbor in Home Improvement. You could just see his eyes at the bottom of the camera.
Well, it's a hustle, Ross. He's trying to get everyone else to be like, oh, I thought Mads was like a big guy. He's only like, what, 5'11" or something? So it's just a big, long play.
You look a lot taller in person.
Yeah, I'm sure he gets that a lot.
All right, now let's get to almost 40 minutes with our good friend. Here is Mads Søgaard. All right, we now welcome our very good friend back to Locked On Senators. It is the 5th appearance on the show, joining the top 10 for most guest spots. It's Mads Søgaard, fresh off signing a new 2-year contract, the second year a one-way NHL deal. Mads, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me.
How did it feel to hear that contract was all taken care of? I've heard you're not really into the day-to-day. You're like, hey, call me when it's done.
Yeah. I was, contract situations can obviously be difficult, but I was lucky to have a good agent and just agency, I guess, around me to do very well. And Ottawa was willing to invest a little bit in me, and I'm just very thankful for that, and excited to show them what I can do.
Now, when it comes to contract negotiations, I know you said you're pretty hands off, but is it the type of thing where you go to your agent and you're like, this is what I'm looking for, don't call me till it's at least close to that? Or are you just like, hey, you let me know what it is, and then I'll decide if that's something I'm interested. Like, I'm curious as to kind of where it starts and how it gets to a finishing point.
Yeah, I think it's more on the second one there.
Okay.
I I kind of just they do a bunch of different categories of where you fit in and what other guys are making or in that sort of style. But they just it's communication back and forth with Ottawa and just kind of also hearing where they're at and what they think, and then you find somewhere realistic in between. And it was great feeling that to hear that they're willing to like I said, invest a little bit in me. And I'm just very thankful for that, and excited to go to work and just keep doing what I can do and take another step to be the best I can be for the organization.
And it almost feels like just a natural continuation of the trajectory where you guys make playoffs last year in Belleville. You have a great season individually, best save percentage of your pro career so far. Then you come in to the playoffs, and that series against the Marlies. I mean, Pillsy was boots on the ground. You guys had such a great atmosphere and such a clutch performance from a number of guys. Garrett Pilon in particular jumped out for us, but just the group of, for you guys, each guy stepping up, how much does that make you want to go to battle with them again for years to come when you have those moments where you all come together as a team?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that playoff experience was huge for not just the group, putting on the jersey, but like the whole city. It was I think it was a great step for hockey in Belleville, and to see the excitement around the rink and just feel the atmosphere, take it to a whole new level was unbelievable. And I know that it left a sour taste in all of our mouths to go out like that to Cleveland. I think we had a really good series, just a couple tough breaks, I guess, but it is what it is, and we're just very excited to bring that back this season.
Well, overtime, I mean, like, there were some marathon games there against Cleveland, and you and Jet Greaves, who also signed, I think, the same contract, 2-way, 1 year, 1 way the next year this summer. Like, that was a head-to-head battle in an awesome barn, too. Obviously, we love the CAA arena, but down in Cleveland, I mean, they fill an NBA arena, so that was pretty cool as well. And it also, I'd imagine, is going to prepare you into what you just put it on our radar this morning, but you're going to be playing some meaningful hockey likely before training camp with the Olympic qualifiers coming up at the end of August and into the first day or two of September. So quickly, just to run it down for everyone, it's 4 groups, and each winner of the group, just 3 games, that's it, will make the Olympics in 2026. Like, that's a pretty big stakes to have for 3 games. You guys are in a division as Denmark with Great Britain, Norway, and Japan. Like, is there a buzz around your country and around the national team right now? And how excited are you to play in those games?
Yeah, I think for almost a year now, it's been rumbling around just that, for us, we're able to play it in my hometown too, which is unbelievable. That I'm going to be able to have some family or friends that maybe won't make the trip to Canada to watch a game. They get to see what it's like, and at a very high level. So it's very exciting, and I think that a lot of people are going to get to see some really good hockey in Denmark. So I think it's going to be great for the growth of hockey too. And whenever you can be a part of growing the game, I think it's a privilege.
Yeah, it's always awesome when you get to kind of bring the game back home. So I'm stoked for that for you. But I want to stick on the playoffs, because I was at a bunch of those playoff games. CAA Arena was rocking. But I want to ask more about your personal development, being able to have a chance to go to multiple playoff rounds. What's it like when you're the goalie, you're in all these meaningful games, and you kind of know that you've got to be on your game every night, otherwise the series starts getting away from you? Like, what does that do for your mentality and your development, having that pressure of those meaningful games?
Yeah, I think it's I don't necessarily look at it in that way. I just focus on the process, to be honest with you. come to the rink every single day and try to get better. And it doesn't sound right when you say that the results really don't matter, because they obviously do. But what matters is just the process of getting better. And I think if you're getting better every single day, just a little bit, or you're doing something extra, or you're taking a little bit better care of your body or whatever, it just all adds up in the end. And unfortunately, we couldn't get past Cleveland, but I think for all of us, it was a great step in the right direction. And not to say we're satisfied, but we're happy with the step we took, and excited to push for a bigger step this year. So I just try to show up every time I get to the rink and be the best I can be, and just focus on getting a little bit better each day.
So
Now,
did your, sorry, I just want to follow up. Did your process change at all in the playoffs from regular season, or you stick to your routine and like you mentioned, it's all about how you prepare, and playoff game, regular season doesn't change how you get ready?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a preseason game or it's a Stanley Cup final. Like, my preparation is the same every single time, and I'm a big believer in that. I think for me, it just it gets me in a zone of comfort, and just knowing that when I do these kind of things, then that prepares me and gets me set up for to go in and do my best, and I think I've made some progress in terms of the consistency over this season, and especially in Belleville. I mean, I would have obviously liked to play a little bit better in Ottawa, but like I said, it's just the process of getting better, and I had an old coach that said that you either win or learn, you never lose, and that's kind of just what I've been trying to do, and learn as much as I can from those games where you're not too happy, and bring it forward, and be better.
We'll get right back to our conversation with Mads, but first, a word from our friends with eBay Motors and our friends at Mary J's.
This episode is brought to you by Mary J's. You guys already know they are a locally owned cannabis dispensary in the Ottawa area. Started off with 3 best friends, including Dashy, making a life-changing decision to follow their dreams. And through hard work and dedication, they now have 4 stores in the Ottawa area. You can check them out in Riverside South, Orleans, Greeley, and Russell. Mary J's offers the absolute best and newest products in the market, and they're adding new stuff to the menu every week to keep it fresh. Mary J's has everything you need, whether you're a rookie looking to try something new, or you're a grizzled vet and know what you want and you want to be in and out of there quick. They got you. They offer competitive pricing. In fact, they're going to price match any store in Ottawa. That means you're guaranteed to get the best price around at Mary J's. They got the best customer service with friendly bud tenders that are always ready to assist. Dashy, one of the owners, is a die-hard Sens fan, so go to one of the stores, say what up to Dashy, pick his brain about the Ottawa Senators and all the latest, greatest products Mary J's has to offer. Check it out today, guys. Mary J's Dispensary.
Today's episode is also brought to you by our good friends at eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. From superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more, whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home a big win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers. All right, now back to our conversation with Mads Søgaard. It's impossible to get information during the playoffs. You missed one game with an injury. We were told you were banged up. Is it something that was lingering once the season ended, or was it just you needed a couple days to be able to get back on track?
Yeah, no, I was struggling. We had morning skate, and I could barely get up from my knees. I had some sort of tweak in the first period of that game that went to double overtime or something like that. So then it happened in the first period, and then when you don't really notice it when the adrenaline is pumping, but then it comes down, and then you start to feel a little bit more. So I had some sort of tweak and was a little bit banged up, and I tried to get on and morning skating. Bellsy had to pull me off because we had Tyson Teachman as a goalie coach there, and he was trying to get me out of the net, and I wasn't leaving, so Bellsy had to go down and get me. So
Man, even just
tough.
You played 85 minutes in that game where you got hurt in the first period?
Yeah. I had like 10 minutes into the game, so it was tough. But I was speaking to our Craig Belfer, our athletic therapist. I was speaking to him in every intermission and just getting a little bit of treatment here and there. But it is what it is. I mean, I had the adrenaline up and going, so it was a little bit easier to get through it. But I would have loved to be in a position to play the last game there, but it wasn't meant to be, and that leaves a sour taste in your mouth and just wants you to get back. So it was very easy to get myself motivated to after a couple weeks of rest to get going and get ready for the next season.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's disappointing to get knocked out at any time, but it was a historic run for the Belleville Senators organization. It was awesome for the fans to get to be a part of that. Now, you mentioned Levy had to come in for one game. I want to ask you what your relationship is like with Levy Merriline. And he seems like he's a young, up-and-coming goalie. We've heard so much about him. We got to watch him in Belleville. He had a flash of brilliance in the NHL as well. What can you tell us about Levy Merriline?
Yeah, he's incredibly talented. Like he's from a goalie perspective, he's very, very patient on shots. Like he does a good job of not getting in the way too fast, or he's just like, he's so patient and he's always in a good position. And obviously I don't think you have to be a goalie to know that he's very flexible and moves very well. He's just a great guy too. I mean, every time you see him, he's always has a smile on his face, and I think overall of this, I think he's an incredible teammate. Like he's one of the most supportive guys that you'll ever meet, and anytime that I had a rough game or something, he was the first one to bump my tires, and whenever I had a good game, he was the first one to tell me that I did good. So he's an incredible teammate overall, I think.
Is he as good one-on-one as it's rumored? Like, we always hear the shootouts, the breakaways, penalty shots. He's tough to beat. Is he showing guys in practice that you're probably not going to beat him one-on-one?
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, he makes some saves that makes him look like a gymnastic sometimes. Like it's crazy how he moves and how flexible he is. And I think he took a really big step in terms of being professional this year. Like he was doing a really good job of the off ice habits too, and taking good care of the body and all that. So it was great to see. I mean, we're all pushing for the same thing, and for us, I think obviously Mando and the conversation too. We had a great thing going, and I think we pushed each other so much in that span when we were three goalies in Belleville. So it was it's always tough when you don't get the same amount of reps in practices, but I think we really made the most out of it, and made sure to to push each other and make sure that whenever we were in the net, we were making the most of it.
We'll get to the turnover on the roster, which is inevitable in pro hockey. It's a business at the end of the day. But how whether comforting is the right word, maybe not, but last year, not this one that just ended, but the one before, you guys had like 12 different goalies dressed for a game. And I know a big reason was the injuries in Ottawa, and you were up during that time, but just being able to know that it's you and your two guys in that 3 goalie system. I know Mark Sinclair got into a game or two as well, but compared to the year before, I mean, it had to be a little bit more, steady and calming around the room.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, I think we look at that, and myself included. I had too many injuries and too many games that I was unable to play in. Not this past year, but the one before. I think you look at that and just know that you have to do something different and something better to make sure that you're more sustainable and you don't break down and get stronger. And no, I think we all did that, honestly. I think it shows too. Like you said, Sinclair was in a game or 1 or 2 games or something.
44 minutes. I'm looking now.
Yeah. So I mean, injuries can always happen, obviously, but for us, just it's all about putting yourself in a good position and make sure that you've done the work. So there's nothing to blame it on after. And I think we did a really good job of that.
In 2022, 2023, you guys had 7 goalies play multiple games, and 10 goalies got into a single game in one season.
That's not much stability in the crease.
No, not a whole lot, but you guys obviously, and we'll get into the turnover now, I guess, because obviously you and Mando are great friends. Will the Great Dane be staying on your helmet? Isn't that an ode to Mando's dog?
Yeah, like we started talking about like when we first had dogs, because I had he's obviously he's French and I'm Danish, and at the time my family just got a French bulldog, so I thought that was hilarious for him, but not enough to make it on his helmet, I'm afraid. So
maybe distance makes the heart grow fonder. Maybe his Colorado helmet, he'll get a French. He'll get you.
But I don't have high hopes after 3 years, but no, it's all good. So but it's staying. I have I think my mask is on the way already now. So
we can unveil it again. We did well last year.
Yeah, absolutely. You can.
I loved your mask last year. The detail of the dog having a puck in his mouth and the teeth everywhere, like that's an awesome touch. I liked it. So can you give us a hint of whether it's a theme or one little Easter egg? Like we know Dax always puts Sparky, the ASU mascot. You got any of those little things in there?
It's a winter theme. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Interesting.
Follow up. Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
No. I haven't never watched it, but like I've heard so many people that tell me I should, so
well, there's that winter is coming. To be honest, I've never seen it either. I just know the winter.
Nice.
I just know the winter's coming.
That makes me feel better, honestly.
Brace yourself. Winter is coming. That's the quote. Yeah. I have seen it. I'll fill you guys in here.
Oh man, we're gonna have to rebrand this as a TV podcast. Go put on Pills.
We're gonna get back to this in a year, and it's gonna be a review of that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll do a Game of Thrones review party next year.
Yeah. I love it.
Just when it's aged enough. Should we, Ross? Should we reverse this? Should I reveal my mask to Mads?
Oh,
I got a new mask designed.
Check this out. So Pillsy's a chicken farmer by trade. Yeah. So do you have it with you?
It's over here. I
thought he was going to pull it out just right on his side.
Hey, he's right here. I'll get it. One sec.
You just had it underneath the desk.
Here, I'll do mine in the meantime, Matt. So I grew up playing for the Ottawa Sting. Got the Ottawa Sting logo there. But of course, Ottawa, you got to get the Parliament buildings in there.
You have to.
So we got that. There we go. Pillsy's is sick though. Pillsy's is fresh off the press.
All right, here we go. Just made it. Never worn. So we got the gold cage. I wanted the gold cage. That's clutch for me. We got the angry chicken. You can see the angry chicken heads. He's pissed off. Number 39, Dominic Hasek was my guy growing up.
I love it.
The Sens colors. And then this is the blood from the chicken dripping down, and it says Pillsy on it with the little smiley face under there.
Because we call him Positive Pillsy. He's always a positive guy.
And then on the back, the laurels, and then my heritage is German and Canadian. So I got the 2 flags there.
That's pretty good. I don't know if
it's sweet, eh?
if I can match that.
We've got more with Mads Søgaard on the other side, but first, a word from our friends at Game Time.
Yes, Game Time is the official ticketing app of the Locked On Podcast Network, and we love Game Time. It makes getting MLB tickets even faster and easier. They got killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying baseball tickets. And it's not just sports. You can get tickets for concerts, comedy, theater. Ross went to some comedy. I went to a baseball game. Game Time helped us get a nice, fun night out on the town. And what I love about Game Time is the all-in pricing. Nothing worse than thinking you're getting a deal, and then you get through the checkout, and all of a sudden, all these hidden fees start popping up, and you're not getting the deal you thought you were. Not with Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed.
If you need it, I guess you can borrow his if you need it for a game.
Yeah, I'll let you borrow it. It's not game worn.
If I showed up for a game with that.
That would be interesting. That would get some attention.
A nickname, the Angry Chicken.
I've heard worse. I've heard worse nicknames. Was it that type of tequila they call it Fighting Chicken? I think you have a few glasses of that. You might want to go fight the next guy you see. But the Fighting Chicken, I think it might have to make a bit of a ascension into the lore. But man, you take some time on your mask, don't you? Or are you just letting the guy do his work? Are you with Dave Art?
No, I'm with Dave Freed.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
I got the name right. That's halfway there. Well, heck, all of you Scandinavians is Denmark part of Scandinavia? That's the first question. Yeah. Okay, nice.
Finland is Finland's the one that people always get on us for.
It's like halfway there. We're not there at all.
Finland?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Is there a rivalry?
I would say they're not a part of it, but
okay. Sweden though?
I don't know if people are going to disagree with me or not, but Sweden's a part of it for sure.
Okay. What do you know about Linus Ullmark?
Not too much, other than what everybody knows is that he's obviously a heck of a goaltender, and like I said to Justin Peters when I talked to him, any day you get to get on the ice and get to work alongside a Vezina Trophy winner, it's a pretty good day. So I'm excited to get on the ice with him and skate with him, and obviously learn as much as you can from him. He's and also just like the mentality. I think you see the Boston Bruins. How they're always in a conversation to around the playoffs or a competitive team or something. And obviously they have a good culture over there. So also just to learn that part of that side of the game, I guess, and see and listen to what they did to be successful, because they're obviously doing something really well over there, so you can always learn from that.
Yeah, definitely. We're anytime you can bring that kind of experience, we like that for sure. I don't know. What do you got, Ross? I'm blanking.
I was gonna say it's crazy. We met Linus Ullmark.
Okay, I was gonna bring that up, but didn't want to.
Just with the Vezina Trophy at the draft, we made the trip to Vegas for the draft, and that was like, I think they had given out the Vezina the night before, but we were all over. He's a reigning winner. It's like, well, the next season happened. The reigning winner, but no, it just seems like he's such a calm, cool, collected guy too. Just with the little bit that we've seen, the behind the scenes, the Sens posted on his first day at all. So I'm sure you'll be able to learn quite a bit from him too. Cause I know you talked about Korpisalo last year and being able to learn from a guy who'd had that type of NHL experience as well. Mm-hmm. So it feels like, a different view. Does that help you? Because since you've been in the organization, they had Matt Murray come in, 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Then you get Korpisalo, Cam Talbot as well. And then now you've got Linus Ullmark. Like, are you able to take a little bit here and there from all of their games and the time you spend together?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not on a daily basis, but I chatted with Matt Murray when he had his return after surgery and all that, and he was always like really great to me, and took great care of me and helped me and answered all my questions. I mean, I was obviously just turning pro in North America, and I had a ton of questions. And you get to a situation like that and work with a guy that just won 2 cups. It's pretty exciting. And he was always great to me. And even when he got sent down to Belleville, he was super supportive of me. I remember when he got sent down, we had to play Utica, and
on a Wednesday in Belleville in January.
It was in Utica. It was in Utica, and because he got sent down, so I didn't expect to play because I thought he was gonna obviously play, and then I ended up playing, and he backed up for me, and he was like every intermission he was so supportive and let me know of what I did good and what I could just be a little bit aware of or something like that. So he was always good. And then Talb's he was great too. He taught me a lot of what it's like in the NHL, and he took great care of me. Still talk to him here and there as well. He had a big impact on me in that year because obviously I started off playing pretty well, and then I think the everyday life also hits in terms of I think I needed to make some improvements in terms of strength and being able to perform at a high level over that kind of schedule. I think that's where my game kind of shattered a little bit. Was just I wasn't strong enough to keep playing well at a high level, because when I was fresh I had some really good games, and when I was not so fresh I was struggling. So that was a great learning experience as well, and he was there all the way to help me, and was making sure that I was comfortable, and if I was getting down on myself or something like that, he was the first one to pick me up and be there for me. And he's someone I leaned a lot on too. So he was great to have around, and Corpy was great guy too, unbelievable, and just a funny guy too. And he was always in a good mood, and he was like, how do you say, really like unbothered by everything going around him. Like he was just living his life in his own little bubble, and I don't think he has any sort of social media or anything. He just shows up to the rink and does his job, and then that's it. So he was another, like I said, with Matt Murray when I was playing in Belleville, and he was bumping my tires. Like every time I had a TV timeout, Corpy would tell me how good I was looking or how good I was playing or something like that. So he always just kept it light, and was a really good guy. So yeah, I'm happy that even without being a full-time NHL, that I've had the experience to play alongside those goalies as much as I have. So it's just another one of those things where you get to learn a little bit from them and take bits and put it into your own game.
All right, Mads, final question for me, and we appreciate you doing this. Like, I'm serious when I say that you are one of our favorite guests on this show, 5-time recurring guests. Like Jamie McLennan, Angus Crookshank, Igor Sokolov, David Foote, Scott Wheeler, Ian Mendez, Mark Mathot. That's the entire list of 5-time recurring guests. So we really do appreciate you, and we're big fans of what you are going to accomplish in your career. And my final question for you is, when it comes to the turnover on this team, I got to get a word in on Igor. The guy led the team in games played, goals, assists, points. What did he mean to the city of Belleville and the organization while he was here?
Yeah, he would do anything he could for anyone on the team or in the city or whatever. He was breathing Belleville and also Ottawa. You know, he'd do anything for anyone. And I've actually spoke quite a bit with him over the last couple of weeks here, especially as we were both in a contract situation, and I think he had a feeling that he was probably going to get traded as well. So we were chatting over the past weeks here and going through a little bit of I wasn't expecting to get traded, but you never know. But we're going through the same sort of thing in terms of contracts, and we're just helping each other out. Like I said, he'd do anything for anyone, and he was also being really supportive to me. I'm obviously very close with Igor, but my girlfriend is also good friends with his now wife, and we would have loved to be able to be there to celebrate them, but he was making sure to send me a lot of pictures and videos and
a lot of shirtless, crazy.
Look what you're
pictures
missing out on.
Yeah. I was bummed that I couldn't be there, but it was just a great experience to see him, and so happy that his family was able to make it too, and it was just awesome. So he's definitely going to be missed. He's he's just a character and such a funny guy, and I mean, I don't know if you guys probably saw that, but the way that he was when we clinched the playoff spot, and he was doing like the post game interview.
Yep.
Like
He was cutting promos WWE, man.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, that's just, he cares so much that like he can't control himself when he gets so excited for that part. So he's definitely going to be missed. And
he's a guy we'll be following for the rest of his career too. And he's coming. He texted me yesterday. He goes, "I'm ready when you need me." So we want to get a proper exit interview with him too.
Yeah, like that's it's obviously it's the same with Mando. Obviously, like it's guys that I used to live with those two guys, and now they're both moving on. It's you'd always love to play with those guys for as long as possible, but I'm just pumped for them both to get a good new opportunity, and I know that obviously it's not going to be we're not going to play together. Yeah, that's a great picture to
nice.
So
I know the Cactus Club umbrellas when I see them in Toronto.
I didn't even know that was there, honestly.
I bet you it is.
Yeah,
I might have spent 1 or 2 nights there, but man, it just shows you, man, how tight knit you guys were as a crew.
Yeah, we're leaning a lot on each other, and obviously they're going to be moving on, but they're going to be friends for life. They're going to be guys that you're going to talk to here and there, and make sure that they're doing good, and still be a part of our lives together.
Just like you got the influencer Joey DeCord still in the comments for you too. But I did actually have another final question for you, Mads, and I just got off track. I read Igor's name there as a longtime guest of the show, but I want to talk about one game in specific last year. You were starting goalie, Mother's trip in Philadelphia. You guys go down, and it might have been the weirdest goal ever. The Zamula goal in the first period. I think you had both of them, but it was like a strange way that you were down early in the game. You guys battle back. McEwen scores a beauty on a breakaway. Like, how do you, maybe this is more general, but in the context of maybe that game or how special it is having all the guys have their parents there. But when you go down early in a game, how does that change, if anything, your approach to the next save, the next period, or the next stretch in your zone?
Yeah, I think it's more like, that's a time where you can go one of two ways. You can go, okay, now it's time to do something, or it's time to just stick to the process. And for me, like we were talking about earlier, like it's all like process for me. It's all process, and it's all about sticking to what I believe in and sticking to what I know works. And that's a time you get called up to play in the NHL. Your mom is there, and it's that's a time where it's easy to hit the panic button almost. But I think I did a good job of just sticking with it. I mean, for the short time I've been in the NHL. I've had some pretty weird goals against, I think.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that Colorado one.
The Colorado one.
Yeah. Like I've had some pretty weird ones. I think so. Yeah, it is what it is. But that's like I said, it's a hard mental barrier to get over that and not hit the panic button. And I've been working on it. And I think that game, for example, that showed that just stick with it. I think I ended up making a breakaway save or something like that, at the end of the game, and then we went up the other end and scored, and then we had an empty netter after that. So it was that was a great moment for me, and to have my mom there as well was a very very cool experience.
Oh, your mom was able to make the trip. I didn't know if you got the last minute tap that you're starting that game, but she was able to come over.
Yeah, so I got called
awesome.
up. I got called up the day before we played. I think, if I'm not mixing it up here, I think I got called up the day before we played San Jose.
Yep.
And
that was the first win in quite a while, if I remember correctly. It had been a tough stretch, but then you carried in the vibes through the mother's trip. That was awesome.
So then we had the mother's trip, and then so when I got called up, they texted me and said that if my mom was able to, then she could come over, and I think she probably had the time of her life with the other moms, and it was a pretty cool experience to play an NHL game and on the road and still have your mom there. It's something that I won't forget, and I'm sure she won't either.
Yeah, that mom's trip was awesome. Probably one of the better moments of last season for the Ottawa Senators, for sure.
And Pinto had just come back. I think that was his first game, and it was just like the vibes were finally starting to pick up where they should be.
Yeah, absolutely. And he had a big game too.
Oh yeah. We like when he plays Montreal because we have a take on this show. Obviously, we got to dig our heels into takes that he's a better player than Cole Caulfield. Obviously, a little Habs-Sens rivalry, the two American kids, all that. So for you guys to then go into Montreal the next game and smack them around, that was very nice for me personally.
Oh yeah. You always love beating the good old rivals.
Well, 9 in a row against Montreal. I don't know if you know that. It's gone back a little while.
No.
9 straight.
9
Count them.
Wow.
It's going to be 10, second game of the season too.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Really?
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Keep her going and keep her going. That's the goal. Final question for me here, Mads. This has been awesome having you. What was your exit interview like? Who was involved with that, and how did that go?
Yeah, we had I had chats with all different coaches and spoke primarily to Ryan Bonus, and we just chatted about the progress that I made over the year, and I think they wanted me to take a step, and I think I took a step also, and we're moving in the right direction now. There's still lots of room for improvement. I think there is for everybody, it's an exciting. It was a good exit interview, and I think everybody left with the hunger for more kind of mentality, and everybody was excited to get going again. So I think it's gonna be a good season. I think a lot of guys are going to take some steps this year, and push the Ottawa Senators and the Belleville Senators to get even better and go to the playoffs and go deeper in the playoffs.
You've gotten a unique view of this Ottawa Senators young group, especially 2 years ago when you were able to be a backup for a lot of games and get into 20 games yourself. Give us a name of one player that you're looking at for a breakout season.
Well, I'd probably just go back. I mean, he had a great season this year also, but I think Shane Pinto is just gonna take another step. He's a really good player, and I think he's just scratching the surface. I think he's gonna be really, really good. And you saw what he did. Obviously he got into a tough situation last year, and missed a lot, and still came back. And I thought he was excellent. And one of the I think he took a really big role for missing 40 games or whatever it was, and did a great job. So I think he's going to take another step this year, and also he's been great ever since coming into the NHL, obviously, but Jake Sanderson too, like I think he's going to be really, really good too, and take another step. So I think it's just an exciting environment where nobody's really satisfied, and everybody's is excited to push for more.
Stay tuned for next time on Scouting with Sogi. Love that breakdown, fella. We appreciate it. And that's the difference between where we go from interview to friend of the show, where we just ask 17 last questions. We appreciate you answering every one of them. We're cheering for Denmark. I might have to get a Denmark flag, or we'll get something for the end of August to cheer you guys on, because I want Denmark in the Olympics. We usually leave you goalies alone during the season, but if you guys are able to come out of that, we're going to have to get you back on preseason and get a little bit of a victory lap for that.
Anytime.
Awesome. We appreciate you. Mads Søgaard, NHLer with the Ottawa Senators and Belleville Sens. Looking forward to a great season from you, and we always appreciate your insight on the show.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right. Stick taps to Mads for joining us. Really fun conversation. Insightful guy. Looking forward to seeing what he has in store, both at training camp and in the Olympic qualifications. Pilsy, any final thoughts on today's show?
No final thoughts for me, Ross. Hashtag goalie friendly show. One of the friendliest goalies out there. So hope you guys enjoyed that interview with our pal, Mads Søgaard.
We aren't teasing tomorrow's guest.
I'll leave that up to you.
Stay tuned on social media at Sens Central at 7:07. We'll make an announcement. Ooh. That's Brandon Piller. I'm Ross Levitan. This has been another edition of the Locked On Senators podcast. Your team every day.